Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to explain a movie called The Croods: New Age. Get comfortable. This movie tells the story of a prehistoric family that is forced to learn to live with a more evolved and modern family. They must settle their differences and learn to evolve if they must adapt. In the beginning, there's a strong tar drowning people. Guy's parents are stuck in the tar. They tell him to follow the light that leads to tomorrow. Guy begins his journey and marks the moon as a travelogue. He loses count after 200 moons, and still, no signs of tomorrow. One night, he sees a person, Eep. She's been living in caves with her family her whole life. Eep introduces Guy to her family, and they all like her except her dad until Guy discovered fire and showed him. Eep's family joins Guy in search of tomorrow. On their journey, they are chased by vultures till they find a safe place where they eat dinner and spend the night. While everyone is asleep, Guy and Eep are awake. Guy believes that they both can have their own tomorrow, which they will call home, and she agrees. Grug, Eep's father, overhears their conversation and is heartbroken that his daughter wants to leave the family to move in with Guy, whom he believes can't protect Eep. Grug hears the conversation and leaves angrily. The next morning, when everyone is awake, Grug leads the Croods to his discovery. They see something like a building fenced with bamboo sticks. Grug breaks it open and they see tomorrow. They are all excited because it is filled with so much food and fruit, and they eat. When they are tired of eating, they rest on the floor, but Grug sees a banana hanging on a flower and attempts to get it. He says he ate a banana once and he was always thinking about it. The Croods lift him, and when he pulls it, they are all tied up in a trap. Soon, a couple, Phil and Hope, arrive. They cover themselves with shields and check their catch. They realize they are humans and introduce themselves as the Bettermans. They were friends of Guy's parents. The two families get along and the Bettermans take them to their home. It's a big tree house. Eep wants to climb the tree, but there's an elevator that takes them up. When they get in, the Croods aren't used to the things around them. Mirrors, glasses, and windows are all new to them, and they break them while checking it out. Hope calls out to her daughter Dawn to meet Guy after a long time. Guy and Dawn are very excited to meet each other, and they both carry sloths around as pets. Guy's pet is Belt and Dawn's Sash. They hug themselves, but Eep is quick to separate them. Eep hasn't seen a teenage girl before and is excited. She carries Dawn and spins her around while they both scream. Later that night, before the Croods go to sleep, Phil tells them that they can eat everything in the house except bananas, but he doesn't say why. Grug then wants them to sleep in a pile as usual, but the Bettermans give them individual rooms. Guy immediately falls asleep in his room, but Eep is feeling a little distant from him because he promised her privacy in their own home. Meanwhile, Grug can't sleep. He piles furniture on his body, but he still can't sleep, so he calls out to Ugga from the other room. He tells her that he's not comfortable alone, but Ugga doesn't want to return to the wild, so he agrees to remain there, but in the same room with her. However, Hope and Phil are cleaning, and they believe that Guy still has a chance with Dawn. They decide to kick the Croods out, but let Guy remain so that he can be with Dawn. The next morning, while everyone is asleep, Phil and Hope set Dawn and Guy up. They make them do the chores together. Afterward, Guy takes a shower and is changed into clothes just like Phil's. Grug wakes up and asks Eep about Ugga. Ugga is taking a bath and Sandy, a swim in the river. Grug believes they're changing, and Eep tries to convince him that the change isn't so bad until she sees Guy. Eep raises Guy and notices that he smells and looks different. He is dressed in the same outfit as Philosophy. Dawn pops out and asks Eep for breakfast. When she wants to strike rocks with Guy, he pulls up a lever that ignites fire, and he rants about how good it is to light a fire so easily and quickly. Eep is devastated and sits on the balcony. Dawn meets her, and she asks Dawn if she smelled weird. Dawn identifies her smells and asks about her scars too. Dawn realizes that all of Eep's scars are from adventures, and she's sad that her parents keep her behind the walls to stop her from adventures. So, Eep offers to take her over the walls. They ride on Chunky and cross the wall. Dawn is excited and wants to jump over more things, so her adventures begin. Meanwhile, Guy, Sash, and Belt play with a toilet. They flush things inside when Hope comes with a photo book of Guy's family and hers. While Guy talks to Hope, Sash accidentally flushes Belt down the toilet. However, Grug has left the house with Thunk. Thunk insists on returning to the house to watch the birds through the window, but Grug says he should play with Douglas instead. Thunk agrees to play fetch with Douglas, but when he throws the baton, it injures a cock. So, Thunk returns to the house to continue watching the window. When Thunk is gone, Phil meets Grug and takes him on a ride to a secret place where Phil likes to take some time away from his family. On their way, Grug wants to eat the bananas, but Phil reminds him that no one eats the bananas. Meanwhile, Ugga is cleaning the place where her family ate the previous day. Hope gives her a basket of food and essentials for the road and thanks her for bringing Guy home. However, when Eep and Dawn are riding, they crash into a hive and Dawn gets the antenna of a bee stuck in her palm and it leaves a scar. Phil asks Grug why he feels down, and after much pressure, Grug confesses that he misses the pack and doesn't like that they are all separated. He says he worried about Eep leaving the pack because of Guy. Soon, Phil suggests that they keep Guy while the Croods remain as a pack and Grug agrees. They leave the secret cave and Grug meets Uga. He wants to suggest that they leave Guy, but Uga is furious and rants that Hope wants them to leave Guy. Later at night, Eep and Dawn return. Dawn's hand is infected and swollen from the bee's venom, and when Guy sees it, he scolds Eep and calls her a cave girl before leaving. Guy wants to sneak Dawn to her room but is called to the table by the others. There, Phil tells everyone about Grug's idea to leave Guy with the Bettermans while they all return to the wild. Uga is disappointed and Grug tries to explain that Phil tricked him. Uga decides that they all leave that night, but Guy doesn't want to. Eep calls him, but he claims that the place is the tomorrow he's been searching for. Eep leaves angrily and Phil calls out for dessert. Grug says he isn't having dessert because he ate all the bananas. When Phil finds out, he weeps. Soon, there's a furious banging on the wall. Grug and Guy ask him about the bananas, and he says that every 100 moons, some creatures bang at the wall, but after throwing bananas at them, they leave. Some minutes later, the wall is broken and hundreds of monkeys capture Grug, Phil, and Guy. The others notice that they're missing and they go in search of them. Sandy traces their scent. They follow the smell up to a bridge. Hope insists that they can't pass and she diverts Chunky until they fall into a river. They're lost, but Gran has a way of finding the way. She sends her hair to find them a way. Meanwhile, Phil, Grug, and Guy are bundled into a cave. The monkeys are angry that they didn't get any bananas, and their leader explains to the humans that they gather bananas for a monster. The monster takes them if he doesn't meet bananas. However, while the others are waiting for Gran's hair, Hope runs off and gets stuck amid spider wolves. They follow her, and Dawn realizes that the spider wolves only want to protect their child, so they make friends with them. While they are waiting for Gran's wig to return, Eep tells Uga how heartbroken she is that Guy chose a treehouse over her, but Uga encourages her to fight for what she wants. They return to sleep. Hope refuses to sleep in a pile, but agrees eventually. There, she apologizes to the Croods for how she treated them before falling asleep. In the cave, the monkeys decide that since there are no bananas for the monster, they will sacrifice Guy, Grug, and Phil in big banana peels. They apologize to each other and Guy wishes to apologize to Eep. Meanwhile, Gran's Wiggis returns. They decide to disguise themselves as the Thunder Sister from Gran's days, and they ride on the spider wolves to the monkeys' caves. There, the giant monster has arrived and is about to eat them when the Croods, Bettermans, and spider wolves arrive. They fight off the monkeys and save them. When they are about to run out, Grug and Phil fall off and Eep is blocked by the monster. Grug saves Phil, who sprained his ankle, and carries him back to safety. Phil realizes that Eep can't escape, so he goes on to save her. He apologizes and tells her that tomorrow isn't a place for him, but rather, a person, and he wants Eep to be his tomorrow. Together, they fight off the monster, but he is too strong. Soon, they strike rocks and create fire and drop the burning rock on the monster. The monster falls and they run to safety, but the monster is quick to get up and holds Eep's toe. It's a fake toe and the monster can't hold on for long, so he crashes. The Croods, the Bettermans, the Spider Wolves, and the Punch Monkeys return to the treehouse. They break down the wall and begin to live together while Eep and Guy stay in their separate rooms. That was all from the movie. Please, give us a suggestion of movies you want us to resume for you. Thank you for watching and being part of our family. Just to let you know, we are posting videos every day for you. Please subscribe to give us more motivation, and you will not miss our daily video.